Not yet, no? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Still you're not able to see my screen, right?
No, sir.
We can see, sir. The screen we can see, sir.
Means the PPT?
PPT is not visible,
No,
sir.
sir.
The screen we can see, sir.
PPT will be able to see, no?
Yes, sir.
So
If you
now
share
we
it,
can see only a screen, sir.
Screen. Okay. Oops.
so you just have to open the PPT. That's all. It'll come.
That's all, no?
That's all. That's all.
Now it is okay? Now you are able to see PPT? Hello?
No,
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 sir.
sir.
No.
Sir, while sharing, you have to press share everything on the screen, sir.
share entire screen.
Share button you can't do, sir. Two options will be there. Share, presenting.
Okay, okay. 1 minute. Stop sharing. Yeah, window it should come, no? If I say, now it has come. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, now I think, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Sorry. So, welcome back to this session on uplink transport channel processing. So, in the previous class, we have discussed about modulation of PUCCH, right? That is a physical uplink control channel. And as well as I discussed about the different formats of PUCCH. So, anybody has remembered what are the different formats of PUCCH? How many formats are there? Yes? I need some response from your side.
8, sir.
8. No. PUCCH format.
8.
Not correct. Yes.
1A, 1B.
1A, 1B, then 2, 2A, 2B. Totally how many? 6 it is. Okay, so totally there are 6 PUCCH formats. And I have discussed about that, right? What each format is and how many bits of informations are encoded for each of the format and other things, right? So today we will discuss about the resource mapping of in the uplink channel. Okay, so you can okay, fine. So this is my first slide. So resource mapping. Okay, so in resource mapping, the physical uplink control channel and the physical uplink shared channel, okay, both are time division multiplexed from the same user equipment. So what do you mean by time division multiplexed? Means only one can transmit at a time, right? Not both. So what I wanted to say is the physical uplink control channel will not be transmitted simultaneously with the physical uplink shared channel from the same user equipment. So why it is done so? It is done so to retain the single carrier property of the SCFDMA. Okay. Okay. And we can do frequency division multiplexing of the physical uplink control channel with the physical uplink shared channel from other user equipments in the same subframe. Okay. I hope you understand all these terms. Physical uplink control channel, you are aware. Physical uplink shared channel also you are aware, right? As I said, the physical uplink control channel is a time division multiplexed with the physical uplink shared channel from the same user equipment. Because of this, the physical uplink control channel cannot be transmitted simultaneously with the physical uplink shared channel from the same user equipment. Okay. Why it is done so? It is done so to retain the single carrier property of the SC-FDMA. Okay. And as I said, the physical uplink control channel can be frequency division multiplexed with the physical uplink shared channel from other user equipments in the same subframe. Fine. So, if the user equipment has not been assigned any uplink resource for the uplink shared channel transmission, then a certain set of uplink resources are assigned for the transmission of the physical uplink control channel. Okay. So, the physical uplink control channel uses one resource block in each of the two slots in a subframe. So we are very well aware of this. One subframe has two slots, right? So it uses one resource block. I hope it is clear about this one. So PUCCH is time division multiplexed with the PUSCH from the same user equipment. Hence, PUCCH cannot be transmitted simultaneously with the PUSCH from the same user equipment. Right? Why it is done so? It is done so to retain the single carrier property of the SC-FDMA. Why you want to retain the single carrier property of the SC-FDMA? So there are some other reasons for that, right? To reduce the PAPR and other things. Okay. As I said, PUCCH can be frequency division multiplexed with the PUSCH from other user equipments in the same subframe. So PUCCH uses one resource block in each of the two slots in a subframe. So let me say how the allocation is done. So the physical resource blocks, means PRBs, right, to be used for the physical uplink control channel transmission in slot n suffix s. This is the index, right, are given by this formula. So the number of resource blocks, physical resource blocks, is equal to, we say, m by 2 if the value of this one is equal to 0, means m plus ns mod 2 entire thing mod 2 operation, which is equal to 0. Otherwise, it will be what? Number of uplink resource blocks minus 1 minus m by 2 if this is equal to 1. Means m plus ns mod 2 of mod 2 is equal to 1. So really here you have to think about this by taking some value of slot number and some value of m. So what is this m? The value of m depends on the PUCCH format, whether it is 1, 1A, 1B, or 2, 2A, 2B. So depending upon the PUCCH format, the value of m will vary. So depending upon that, and this modulo 2 operation is done with the number of the subframe. This is the slot number, okay? And if the value is 0, the number of resource blocks, physical resource blocks allocated to the PUCCH is this. Otherwise, this one. Okay. So let us see how it is done. So will you be able to take up this equation? The number of physical resource blocks allocated to the PUCCH, that is physical uplink control channel transmission in slot NS, is given by this formula. Okay. And as I said, in the uplink, the PRBs are allocated in contiguous, means there is no gap from one PRB to another PRB in uplink. But in downlink, it is not like that. It can be allocated anywhere. So it is discontinuous. So this is what I say, one PRB. So this is a resource block, even number slot, and this is the odd number slot. Okay, that is in one subframe we have two slots, right? Even number slot and odd number slot. So here this dark, this PRB, no? Resource PRB, and it is contiguous with the another. This is the next resource block, right? So it is contiguous. This and this. That's what I want to say here. See, the number of physical resource block is equal to 0 to, it can vary from number of resource blocks in the uplink minus 1. So that's what I said. the physical uplink control channel is transmitted at the bandwidth edge, which is to provide the contiguous bandwidth in the middle for data transmission, as this uplink allows only the localized resource allocation. Okay? And in between, if you use the frequency hopping between the different slots, that will provide the frequency diversity. Okay. So PUCCH, that is physical uplink control channel symbols, are mapped to resource elements not used for the reference signal transmission. So this is all about the resource mapping of the PUCCH. Okay. So next, let us discuss about the uplink reference signals. So LTE supports, there are two different types of reference signals in the uplink. So you are aware of what are the reference signals supported in the downlink by LTE? Is it possible to say from your side, anyone, how many reference signals are supported in the downlink for LTE? Yes, some response I need from your side. When we are discussing about uplink, as I said, 3.
3.
DCI, may know what are those things? CFI and HI, right? Downlink control information, then control format indicator, then hybrid AMQ indicator, right? Yeah. Similar to that, in the uplink, okay, LTE supports two different types of reference signals. One is demodulation reference signal, and another one is sounding reference signals. So what is this demodulation reference signal? Okay, the demodulation reference signals are transmitted on the uplink resources assigned to the user equipment. Okay, for what purpose? For the coherent demodulation of data and control information at the E node B. Okay, for coherent demodulation of data and control information at the E and B, the demodulation reference signals are used. Right. So as we are aware that physical uplink control channel cannot be simultaneously transmitted with the physical uplink shared channel because they are time division multiplexed. So for each of the channel, there is one demodulation reference signal. So I can say there are demodulation reference signals for PUSCH and as well as for PUCCH. Okay. So hope it is clear about the demodulation reference signal. Purpose is what? They are transmitted on uplink resources assigned to the user equipment for the coherent demodulation of data and control information at the E node B. Okay. As I said, PUCCH is time division multiplexed with the PUSCH. Right. So each of the channel will be having a different demodulation reference signal. Then the second one is the sounding reference signal. So the sounding reference signals are the wideband reference signals for the ENB to measure the uplink channel quality information for the uplink resource allocation. Okay. So as I said, sounding reference signals are the what? Wideband reference signals for the ENB to measure what? The uplink channel quality information for the uplink resource allocation. And these sounding reference signals are not associated with the physical uplink control channel or physical uplink shared channel. Okay. So sounding reference signals are not associated with the either PUSCH or PUCCH, but demodulation reference signals are associated. Right. The purpose is what? The purpose of sounding reference signal is to measure the uplink channel quality information. For what purpose? For the allocation of uplink resource. Okay. So why we have two different types of reference signals in the uplink? The reason is quoted here. So the reason is, unlike the downlink, okay, here the demodulation reference signals in the uplink, okay, are only transmitted on sub carriers assigned to the user equipment. Okay. Demodulation reference signals in uplink are only transmitted on sub-carriers assigned to the user equipment, and therefore they cannot provide sufficient wideband channel quality information for resource allocation. So particularly over the resource blocks that are not allocated to the user equipment. Okay. So for that reason, we have two reference signals in the uplink. So the reference signal in the uplink cannot be transmitted at the same time as user data. But in case of downlink, it is possible. But in case of uplink, this reference signal cannot be transmitted at the same time as user data, right? So the uplink reference signals are time division multiplexed with the uplink data on the assigned subcarrier. So data and reference signals in the uplink are time division multiplexed. So the power level of the reference signal can be different from that of the data symbol as they are transmitted over different SCFDMA symbols. Okay, so that will make the PAPR to be minimized over each of the SCFDMA symbol. So this is the reason why we are having two types of reference signals in the uplink, because what, the reference signal and the data are time division multiplexed. So because of that, so it cannot be transmitted simultaneously, right? Data and as well as reference signals. That's why we have two types of reference signals in the uplink. And as I said, the power level of the reference signal will be different from that of the data symbol, so that the power, they are transmitted over different SCFDMA symbols. With that, the PAPR, that is peak to average power ratio, is minimized over each of the SCFDMA symbol. Okay. So this is what the reason. So let me take up the reference signal sequence. So the demodulation reference signal and the sounding reference signal. Okay, these are the what? These two are the reference signal in the uplink, right? So they are defined by the cyclic shift of the same base sequence. Okay, the demodulation reference signal and the sounding reference signal are defined by the cyclic shift of the same base sequence. So the generation of the base sequence depends on the reference signal sequence length. So which is defined as like this: MSC, the subcarrier or the resource block, is equal to small m into the number of subcarriers for the resource block, where the value of m can vary in this range. It can be less than the number of resource blocks maximum in the uplink and greater than 1. Right? As I said, m is the size of the resource block assigned to the user equipment. Right? So here I said for two values of when m is greater than or equal to 3, that is the user equipment is assigned 3 resource blocks or more, then the base sequence is based on the prime length Z of 2 sequence that are cyclically extended to the desired length. So here the base sequence, as I was telling about the cyclic shift, that is the Z of 2 sequence. So for m is equal to 1 or 2, the base sequence will be in this form: e power j psi of n into pi by 4. Okay, so where the value of n can lie in this range. So it needs more elaborated understanding about this by taking some numerical values of m and other things. So because of time limits, I'm just saying what is what. Okay. So we can generate multiple reference signals by different shifts of the same base sequence. What is the base sequence I'm using? Cyclic shift Z of 2 sequence, right? So the Z of 2 sequence has the property that cyclic shifted versions of the same sequence are orthogonal to each other. So generating reference signals in such a manner can reduce the intercell interference for the reference signal transmission. So the orthogonality of the reference signals within the same cell is obtained via frequency domain multiplexing. Okay, so because the Z of 2 sequence has the property of what? Cyclic shifted version of the same base sequence, and they are orthogonal to each other. So generating reference signals in this way can reduce the inter-cell interference for the reference signal transmission. So orthogonality of the reference signals within the same cell is obtained by what? Frequency domain multiplexing. So the reference signals for each user equipment are only carried in the resource blocks assigned to that user equipment. So always this reference signal in the uplink is user equipment specific. Okay, the reference signal in the uplink is always user equipment specific. So is it okay? Are you understanding what I'm saying? Hello?
Sir.
Raghavendra, Raghu. Yeah, what about others? Nobody is talking. How many are there totally? 33 people. So please chat your USN in the chat box, okay? So is it okay what I'm saying? Are you following? Shita NB. Shita NB should speak. Hello? Shita NB, then she's not live. Only Manjunath and Raghav are okay. Aishwarya? Aishwarya, we also not there. Aishwarya Rao is also not responding. So, what about Archana? Bharat Kumar?
Yes, sir.
Oh, Archana now got into this. Okay. Okay, fine. Could you follow what I have said about resource mapping and reference signals? Have you understood what I said?
Yes, sir.
Archana, there or doing something else?
No, sir, I'm here.
You're there with me. Okay, fine. Okay, then fine. Others, what about Arshita NB? Jayasri? Okay, Lekya? No. Yes, Yazin? Nobody speaks. They are in their own world. Samita?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Samita is live. Fine. Good. Okay. So I need to call some people. Like some others are not responding. Hemant, Madhusri, Yazin.
Yes, sir.
Yazin is there.
Hemant.
Hemant. Oh, ಈ ಬಂದೇನಾ ನಿನಗೆ?
ಇಲ್ಲ ಸರ್ ಇದ್ದೆ.
ಕೇಳ್ತಾ ಇದೀಯಾ ನಾನು ಹೇಳೋದು? ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆನಾ?
ಇನ್ನೂ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ತಿಲ್ಲ.
Reference signals in the uplink. Okay, fine. Okay, I was here. Okay, so let us talk about the resource mapping of the demodulation reference signals. So the resource mapping of the demodulation reference signal is different for physical uplink shared channel and as well as physical uplink control channels. Okay, so the reference signals are inserted in the time domain. Okay, why it is inserted in the time domain is to preserve the low peak to average power ratio property of the SC FDMA, a single carrier frequency division multiple access. So for physical uplink shared channel, the demodulation reference signal sequence is mapped to resource elements, okay, K comma L, with L equal to 3 for normal cyclic prefix and L equal to 2 for the extended cyclic prefix, okay, with increasing order first in K and then in the slot number. So just I will show one example of that. This is the resource mapping of demodulation reference signal for the physical uplink shared channel with a normal CP. With normal CP, I said the value of L will be equal to 3. Right. What I mean to say is, if I take this is my grid cell, right? There's two slots. Start from L equal to 0 to near L equal to X, right? Two PRBs are I have. So this is what I wanted to say. This is L is equal to 0, 1, 2, and 3. Right? I said for normal cyclic prefix, this is this one allocated reference signal for the physical uplink shared channel will be transmitted in the slot number. Means in each subframe I have two slots, right? In that I will be using L equal to 3, okay, for transmitting the reference signal for the physical uplink shared channel. Okay. So totally there are 7 symbols, right? 0 to 6 means 7 OFDM symbols in one slot, right? In that I am using the third OFDM symbol for transmitting the reference signal PUSCH. Okay. Similarly, this is next PRB 0 to 3, third this one, right? So this is one resource block and this is another resource block. Yeah. So this is one resource block and this is another resource block. In that, the third one, okay, as I said, the L equal to 3 will be used for transmitting the reference signal for physical uplink shared channel. So this is for normal cyclic prefix. For extended cyclic prefix, I said it L equal to 2 means this will be there at 2 at this point. And similarly, for here 0, 1, 2 at this point. Okay. So is it clear? It is very simple to understand. I'm asking, is it clear which slot or which symbol, the OFDM symbol we use for transmitting the PUSCH reference signal? Okay. I said for normal CP, we use L equal to 3 for transmitting the reference signal for PUSCH, that is physical uplink shared channel. Okay. And this is what the table which shows for different PUCCH format. Okay, with normal cyclic prefix, these are the values of L, okay, which are used for transmitting PUCCH reference signals. As I said, PUCCH supports 6 different formats, right? And the resource mapping to SCFDMA symbol for different formats is shown here, right? For PUCCH format 1, 1A, 1B with normal cyclic prefix. So these are the values of L. So L will be equal to 2, 3, 4. Means second, third, and fourth OFDM symbol is used for transmitting the PUCCH format reference signal. Okay, for extended cyclic prefix, it will be 2 and 3. Okay, for PUCCH format 2, it is 1 and 5. And for 2A and 2B also, it is 1 and 5. And for extended cyclic prefix, it is 3. And for this, it is not applicable. Okay, so I will show that also. Yeah, this is what is written here. I said the number of physical uplink control channel demodulation reference symbols are different for different formats, right? So, which is related to the number of control symbols for each of the format. As I said, there are 10 CQI or PMI modulated symbols for PUCCH format 2, 2A, 2B, and there are 2 reference symbols in each slot, right? So, totally there are 14 symbols that will fill the whole subframe. Okay. So as I said, for format 1, 1A, 1B, this has few information bits than the PUCCH formats of 2, 2A, 2B. So there are more reference symbols for 1, 1A, 1B than there are for 2, 2A, and 2B. 2, 2A, 2B, right? So due to the resource mapping of PUCCH, there are 2 consecutive slots I'm showing in the next diagram. They will be occupying the 2 edges of the whole bandwidth. So this is for PUCCH with normal CP. Okay. So as I said, for format 1, 1A, 1B, it is using 2, 3, 4. Okay. Okay, these are the reference signals for PUCs format 1, 1A, 1B, right? And these are the other this one symbol, hybrid ARQ acknowledgement, and this is scheduling requests or symbols. This empty block resources shows, right? This is 2, 3, 4. Okay. For format 1, 1A, 1B. So in this L equal to 0 to 6 is one resource block. In that it will be occupying what? 2, 3, and 4. Similarly, in the next PRB, it occupies 2, 3, 4. This is for PUCCS with 1, 1A, 1B. Okay, for 2, 2A, 2B, I said it is 1 and 5. Right? So it is 1 and 5. Okay. So this is L equal to 0 and this is L equal to 1. Then it is 2, 3, 4, and it is L equal to 5. Right? For the reference signals for PUCCS format of what 2, 2A, 2B will be 1 and 5. Well, in the next PRB, it is 1 and 5. The rest of the things are used for the CQA or PMI symbols. Okay. So is it clear about the occupancy of the reference signals for different PUCCS formats in the with normal CP? Yes, could you understand? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
ಮಂಜುನಾಥ್ ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತು. ಮಂಜುನಾಥ್ ರಾಘವ್ ಇಬ್ರು ರೆಸ್ಪಾಂಡ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಿರೋದು. ಮತ್ತೆ ವಿಂಡೋ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಕೂಗಬೇಕು.
Sir, mapping for extended CP, sir.
Extended CP I have not shown, but I have told in the table. Extended CP, yeah, this table. For normal cyclic prefix only, I have taken example 2, 3, 4 for 1, 1A, 1B. Right. For 2, 2A, 2B, I said is 1 and 5. That I have shown. For extended CP, it is 2, 3. Okay. For format 1, 1A, 1B. For format 2, it is only 3. Okay. For 2A, 2B, it is not there, not applicable there.
Okay, sir.
Accordingly, you can write in that PRB law. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, I think this is covered. So, okay. So, what is that? Resource mapping of demodulation reference signal, I said, right? So, next one is the resource mapping of the sounding reference signals. So, here I consider two modes. One is FDD mode, another one is a TDD mode. Okay. So, for the TDD mode, for the FDD mode, the sounding reference signals is transmitted in the last SC-FDMA symbol in the specified subframe. Okay. For the FDD mode, what I said, the sounding reference signal is transmitted in the last SC-FDMA symbol in the specified subframe. For TDD mode, the sounding reference signal is transmitted only in the configured uplink subframes, or I think TDD mode, you know what is the difference in the frame structure, right? In the second subframe, we have 3 fields. One is downlink PTS, then guard time, that is guard period, and another one is uplink PTS field, right? So in that, it will be transmitted. And the subframes in which the sounding reference signals are transmitted are indicated by the broadcast signaling. And there are 15 different configurations. It is a use this one. So I'm not going so depth about this, all different 15 configurations. Just I show with one this one. Let me say about that. Okay. So in frequency domain, I said that the mapping starts from the position K0. I will show with the diagram, which is determined by the system parameters and fills every other subcarrier. Okay, so the bandwidth of the sounding reference signal is configured by higher layers and also depends on the system bandwidth. Means this configuration. See, as I said, LTE supports different bandwidths, right? Starting from 1.4 megahertz till 20 megahertz, right? 1.4, 3 megahertz, 5 megahertz, 10 megahertz, 15 megahertz, and 20 megahertz. So the reference signal that will be configured by, as I said, higher layers, and also it depends on the system bandwidth. So by allocating every other subcarrier to the user equipment for the sounding reference signal, the system allows two user equipments to use the same resource for sounding. So two user equipments to use the same resource for sounding. Okay, means the second user equipment uses the subcarriers not used by the first user equipment. Okay, means here what is done here, allocating every other subcarrier to a user equipment for the sounding reference signal. The system allows two user equipments to use the same resource for sounding. So as I said, this sounding reference signal is used for what? For measuring the uplink channel quality information, right? For the purpose of what? Allocation of the uplink resources, right? And the sounding reference signal is not associated with either PUSCH or PUCCH, I said. So the example what I wanted to show about the allocation of that resource mapping of the sounding reference signal with normal CP, normal cyclic prefix, is this. So this is a sounding reference signal. I think I said the last SCFDM symbol is used, right? In one, this one. So I said it is denoted by K0, right? So, yeah. Last SCFDM, one is left here, right? So it starts from K0. This is defined by the system parameters, right? It starts from this point and it leaves one subcarrier. So this any y-axis is number of subcarriers, right? I think it will be 12. 1, 2, 3. If you count, it will be 12 subcarriers. It starts from this value K0. It leaves one subcarrier, and then it will be mapped to sounding reference symbol. Okay. So this is how it's done in this case. So if you have any questions to ask, you can ask. So this is what I planned for today's class about the resource mapping, and I talked about reference signals in the uplink. If you have any questions, you can. Yes. So 37 people are there, but they're not speaking except Raghav, Hemant, Manjunath. Manjunath and Raghav are very active, and others, Archana responded, but others not responded only. I hope everybody is writing your USN in the chat. Please, you can respond, you can ask questions. No, what is the difficulty in asking question? Is Aishwarya Rao is not there? Aishwarya Rao? So this shows Aditya. Aditya.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you could understand, man, what is that resource mapping and what are the different types of reference signals in the uplink, how they are, how the reference signals resource mapping is done. I discussed about those things. Have you understood what I said?
Yes, sir.
Understand. Okay. Okay. Bharat Kumar. No. Nischita.
Yes, sir.
Could you understand what I thought? Can you say what I have thought today? Nischita.
Sir,
Yeah, what I discussed today, can you just sum up? Can you do the summary?
uh, sir, about
Hmm. ಹೇಳಿ. So finding difficult?
Sir, no.
ನೋಡಿಲ್ಲ, ನೀವು ಆಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ. ನೋಡ್ರಿ, ಒದ್ದಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀರಾ. If you are with me, you would have told, yes sir, you have discussed about so and so topics. What about Jayashree? Yes, Jayashree. ಮಾತಾಡಲ್ಲ. ವೈಷ್ಣವಿ? Yes, only 30 people have, I think, written your USN in chat box. Rest can do it now. 36, 37 people were there. So Nishchita could not tell what I was telling because will not be able to see all the slides now. Fine. I said Vaishnavi didn't speak.
Yes, sir.
Vaishnavi, come to line. Oh yeah, can you just brief ma what I thought? Very difficult to say or not?
Resource mapping.
Yeah, I told about the resource mapping. Then I discussed about the reference signals in the uplink. I said there are two reference signals.
Yes, sir.
One is demodulation reference signal, and second one is sounding reference signal. And this demodulation reference signal are used for coherent demodulation of data and control information at the E node B. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Since physical uplink control channel and physical uplink shared channel are not transmitted simultaneously because they are time division multiplexed. So each channel will be having one demodulation reference signal, I said. Then to tell about this sounding reference signal, I said it is used for the measurement of uplink channel quality. This one, right? It will be used for measuring the uplink channel quality information. So that is used for the uplink resource allocation. And this sounding signal is not associated with the either PUCCH or PUSCH. Okay.
Yes.
And I said, how do we do the resource mapping for these two reference signals? Okay, that depends on the different PUCCH formats. If it is format 1, 1A, 1B, it uses some OFDM symbols of the PRB. And I said one PRB will be used for PUCCH channel. Okay, for demodulation of the reference signals. With normal cyclic prefix with format 1, 1A, 1B, it uses L equal to 2, 3, 4. Okay. And sounding
Yes,
reference with format 2, 2A and 2B, it uses L equal to 1 and 5. Okay. And then the sounding reference signal will be using the last SCFDMA symbol that it starts from the value of K naught, right? And it will be interleaving the one subcarrier frequency, right? So I discussed about all these things in today's class. By Nishchita, could you understand now at least in summary?
Yes, sir.
Still, finally, I could not talk to Jayashree or Aishwarya. Now they're not live, I think. That also. Okay, fine. Then what else? Any questions we can ask? Is the time for you people. And as I said, this resource mapping for the physical uplink control is done with contiguous band. Okay. Yeah. Any questions?
Sir.
Yeah.
Sir, in sounding reference mapping, sir.
Yeah.
In that you given two slots, no? So only in one slot it starts from K0 position. So using
Yeah.
alternate sub K, sir.
Yeah.
Why is that way, sir? Like can you open the last slide, sir?
I will go. One minute. I think at this point we'll do that. I think. Yeah, resource mapping of the sounding reference signals, right? So here there are
Sir.
one is the FDD mode, another one is the TDD mode, right? What I said in FDD mode, the sounding reference signals is transmitted in the last SC-FDMA symbol in the specified subframe. Okay, but in case of TDD mode, the sounding reference signal is transmitted only in configured uplink subframe or in the UPPTS field in the special subframe. Okay. The subframes in which the sounding reference signals are transmitted are indicated by the broadcast signaling, I said. And there are 15 different configurations. What I have shown is only one. Okay. There are 15 different configurations. And as I said, the mapping starts from the position K0, which is determined by the what system parameters and the system parameters, right? And the bandwidth of the sounding reference signal is configured by the higher layers, and that depends on system bandwidth. Yeah, now tell me.
Sir, next slide.
Next, see, allocating every other subcarrier to the user equipment for the sounding reference signal, the system allows two user equipments to use the same resource for sounding. The second user equipment uses the subcarrier, not used by the first user equipment. Yeah, this is what the. So you are asking why you are not shown in the first PRB.
Yes, sir, in first slot.
In first slot. So I have,
not any symbols, sir.
yeah, I have shown this sounding reference symbol in the second slot. That to last this one. It repeats the same at the L equal to 6, same thing for this.
Okay, sir.
In one subframe it will be using in one slot, I think. Okay. In one subframe, two slots, no? This sounding reference symbols will be using only one slot, not two slots.
Okay, sir.
And as I said, there are 15 different configurations. So still, I think we need to spend more time for this taking example. For further understanding about, I will take up some of the diagrams in the upcoming class. Okay.
Okay, sir.
How exactly this acknowledgement, uplink, downlink happens with IBDRQ and all. And you can refer techsharenote.com. There they're given very technical content if you are interested. Okay. sharetechnote.com.
Okay, sir.
Junath, there even the code is also available. You can take up the code and you can execute in MATLAB and you will be able to see all these mapping. They have written a code for displaying this type of grid also.
Okay, sir.
I said no, www.sharetechnote.com. Good explanation. If you want to have more understanding in depth about this, yes, you can.
Okay, sir.
Anybody? ಬೇರೆಯವ್ರು ಯಾರು ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಮಂಜುನಾಥ್, ರಾಘವ್, some people ಬಿಟ್ಟರೆ ಅದು ಮಾತಾಡ್ಸಿದ್ರೆ. So 32 people have written their evasion. Other 4 people don't want to write. ಇವ್ರು ಬರಲೇ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅನ್ಸುತ್ತೆ ಲೈನಿಂಗ್. ಐಶ್ವರ್ಯ ರಾವ್, ಐಶ್ವರ್ಯ ವಿ, ಜಯಶ್ರೀ, ಅರ್ಷಿತಾ NB. They didn't speak only. Fine. Okay, let me again come back at what time? 12 o'clock, no? 11:50. 12 to 1 o'clock, right?
Yes, sir. 12 to 1.
12 to 1, I will come back and I will take up the next, that is about RACH, random access channel. With that, some part of this module 4 I will be able to complete. Okay. So you could know your score in quiz?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Not yet released, no, your scores?
No, sir.
Okay. Almost all have done well. Okay. Nobody has got less than 7 and nobody has got above 9. Maximum is 9. out of 10, and minimum is 7. So 7 to 9 it is varying. I think people have got enough time to discuss, I feel. Majority. Who was the? Is it is it challenging or is it easy?
Difficult, sir.
This was difficult.
Sir.
Yeah, I think because it was second time again I framed some more questions. I took time and made. But many people could do well. Because majority have got 9. Only few have got 7. Very few people. Fine, then we'll see you at 12 o'clock. Okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, sir.
Yes, sir.